Hey YouTube, it's Elise, and right now we have an unfinished doll. This is our Litten doll that we made out of a Jackie Laura, and all she has is shoes and a face. So we'll need to fix that. So let's get on to it. Let's start with her hair. So I'm just using some yarn, some scissors, and a little cup or bowl. And I'm making her have like a very, very short, almost like a pixie cut, but then shorter, I guess. If you want to see what it's like the Desert Sorceress in our custom doll collection video has the same hair. So what we are going to do is, sorry, we have some cloth right there. Okay, is you are going to find the end of your yarn. Haven't used this yarn in a while, so I don't know. Okay, there we go, I found it. And unravel quite a bit. So I'm just gonna start with like that much. There's some off camera too, but I'm gonna need more. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna cut it into really small pieces. And you want it to kind of be like fuzz, I guess. You want it to be really small amounts. Since if you just see chunks of yarn on their head, that's not gonna really look right. And this process might be a little bit time consuming, but it'll be worth it in the end. So scrape it off. And yeah, you can kind of, you can kind of like unravel your yarn a little bit to make it a bit fluffier. And that'll it'll help it a bit to stay in smaller pieces. And you might want to like rush and like cut like a piece like that, but you're not gonna like that in the end. I just dropped that in there. Hopefully we don't use that. It's not gonna turn out as good in the end. So just make sure you you take your time on this step and just do it carefully. Okay, so I've done a little bit enough. But I just wanted to show you guys a tip that you can do. So, just get some yarn, of course. And what you can do is, I have this really, really, really long strip, but just fold it in half. So, now it's folded in half. And cut right at the end. And then, what you can do is hold your yarn out in front of it. You kind of need to get it a bit closer together, but this is almost pretty much double the speed. And you can just kind of shred the yarn with your scissors. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't really in the camera. So it's like you just kind of shred it down, but you have to make sure you don't cut your fingers when you're doing this. But this does make it a lot quicker. So it's just like pretty much double the speed, like I said. Because you're doing the exact same thing, it's just that you have two pieces of yarn so that it's double the length of time. So now we have a bit more. It's all in one clump. Okay, here's my fluff, and I just kind of separated all the things by rubbing it together. Now I'm going to take that out of its container, just put it somewhere safe. And now what you're going to do is fill your cup with a little bit of water, just a little bit more than halfway. And so I'm going to go do that and then show you when I'm done. Okay, so I filled it with water, and since we used acrylic yarn, we can't just dye it with food coloring. You have to use acrylic paint. And there's red acrylic paint right here. It's just a really long, tall bottle, so you can't see it all. So what you're going to do, and this is my first time doing it, so I might have to do a few tries. But what you're going to do is just get quite a bit of paint in there. That looks like a snake in the water. And then just find something you can stir it with. And I'm just going to use like this pencil right here. Because it doesn't have an eraser. It's just like taped up and stuff. So I'm just going to probably use this side for stirring. And you can just kind of mix all that paint in. And try to get it free of all chunks. And that might be a bit hard, but here, I'm going to quickly lift it up. See if it's mostly free of chunks. Okay, so mine is almost free of chunks, but this is looking more like a pink color, so I think I'm going to put a bit more paint in. Like that. And keep stirring. So I will get back to you when this is de-chunkified. That's totally a word, right? Okay, so there's no more chunks, as you can see. And I'm just going to put this pencil off to the side where it won't stain anything. So I'm probably just going to put it on a few layers of paper. Okay, and now, I can move all this stuff out of the way. I'm just going to take my nice yarn and plop it in there, and then grab your pencil again, or grab your stirring thing again, and just push it in. As you can see, it's becoming more like dyed. So you want it to make sure it gets to like all parts of your fluff. Just stir it around and you can't even see that there's anything in there. Might have added a bit too much water, but it won't really change anything. So, yeah. This is looking pretty good, I think. You can see that it's turning red. I know in the camera it looks red, or slightly pinkish red. It looks even more pink in person. So, I might add like a little bit of brown or something in to make it more reddish. And anyway, my Litten's face is kind of not under a good light. It's kind of just, I mean, you can still definitely see it's red and stuff, but it's kind of a blackish red. So I might actually add just black in there. So let me quickly get up and grab black and I can show you. Okay, sorry. So here we have black in another small container. And I probably should have done this before I put this in, my things in, but I'm just going to add, I'm going to start with a small amount because a little bit of black can go a long way.
By the way, sorry that I'm shaking in the background. I'm making dye for a different video.
Yeah.
You should check out the how to make the Vulpix.
Yeah. Or Ninetales / Vulpix. Okay, so that's looking a bit more like red. You can kind of just use your Litten as a comparison. I think it needs to actually be a bit more red now. It looks almost purplish, which is strange. And this is the same red paint I used to paint Litten's face. It might just be because of like the water that was kind of diluted. That's more pinkish. But so, I mean, we'll have to do with this. It's not worth redoing. And I mean, if it's really bad, we could always just dye it black, since, you know, Litten could have black hair too. But I would rather have red because black would just match her skin. So, yeah. And also, guys, make sure to comment your favorite Pokemon if you watch or play Pokemon. I think my favorites are either the Alolan form of Vulpix, which is Lily's pet, Snowy, and Litten, probably, and of course Pikachu, because you can't not like Pikachu. He's just Pikachu. So, I am going to go drain out the water and the paint, just into like a different cup, or maybe like the sink. But you want to make sure you don't stay in your sink if you're doing that. So maybe dilute it with more water first. So I'm just going to put mine in this cup, and then dilute it with water, and then pour it into the sink, since I don't want it staying in my sink. So yeah, this is my other dyeing cup, which didn't really work. But yeah, okay. So I'm just going to drain the water. Okay, so it's all drained out, and you want it to be like slightly wet. Or I mean, you don't want it to, but it's fine if it is. And so it should just like only leave a tiny bit of excess when you squish it. And now you just want to get some gloves on, and you can just use those plastic gloves that come in like packs, and just the ones that you use when you're like cleaning and stuff. Since you don't want them to be gloves that you would actually mind getting dirty, because they're gonna get dirty. So I'm just gonna go grab those. Okay, I have my gloves on. I'm just going to take out this stirrer and put it on that piece of paper again. And now, just gonna reach in with my gloves and grab out our little blob. And this is where you can squeeze it all out. And make sure you don't get any on the ground, or else you'll be in trouble probably. You should probably put like a placemat or something under. Yep, a paper towel would work too. Thank you. And so as you can see, it does look kind of purple there, but now it's actually turning out to be a really nice red, like almost the exact same color as the real Litten's thing. I don't know if you can see that in the screen. And also, there's little spots of black, which is actually what I was wanting. So that's really nice. But I'm sorry about that clicking in the background. That's just her editing the Vulpix video on our camera. Since we have two different filming devices, since we're always making things at the same time. Yeah. But pretty much, just squeeze it out as much as you can. I think mine is all squeezed out. So I'm just going to move this cup and like pull it apart into little blobs. Since you don't want it to all dry in a big blob, because then it would be a lot harder to like piece apart back into its fuzziness later. But if you put it in little blobs now, it will make it easier to like refuzzify them. That is also definitely a word, right? No, that's totally not a word. So just keep pulling them apart, and they don't need to be like all even or anything, because this is just temporary, just for letting them dry quicker and for letting them be easier to do, to refuzzify. But yeah, so, and yeah, like I just said, this will help them dry quicker too. So now your gloves will be kind of dirty, so you can just take those off. Okay, bye-bye gloves. So now, make sure that they're not soaking through. Good, they're not. And so just let them dry a little. And I'm just estimating and guessing, or guesstimating, but I think this will probably take maybe an hour or two to dry. I have no idea though. I've never done this before, like I said. But hey, I think it's turning out pretty good for my first time. Do you? Yeah, I'm really proud of this color. It looks like Litten's color. Let's quickly see if it's like the one on her head. On screen it doesn't, but in real person it's almost the exact same. So, yay! So while this is drying, let's get started on her outfit. Okay, so, like I said, we're on for her clothes, and the fabrics you will need, or the things you'll need are, of course, a hot glue gun or a sewing machine. I'm just going to use my hot glue gun, for most of it, if not all of it, because my sewing machine is downstairs in our basement, and the hot glue guns are here, so, you know. Then you will also need some red fabric. This can just be regular cotton fabric. You will need some black fabric. This, again, can just be cotton fabric. Did I just say cotton fabric? I meant black. When I said you'll need, I don't know if I said cotton fabric or black fabric. I think I said cotton fabric. You'll need black cotton fabric. Yeah, that's what you need. Then you will need leather. This is leather from a old leather jacket. As you can see, it still has some of this padding for the inside. But it was just an old leather jacket, so we decided to use it for crafts. And this is optional. You could just use the black cloth. But, you know, why not add leather? That will just make it a bit more edgy, which I feel like is Litten-ish. Then, last but not least, is black fur. Because, you know, Litten is a Pokemon. He's the cat Pokemon, I think. I think he's a cat Pokemon, but he's a cat Pokemon still. And, you know, you can't have a Pokemon without fur. Or feathers. You know, usually without fur. So, we have some fur. And we just got all of this stuff at Joann's Fabric, except for the leather. That's from an old jacket. But Joann's Fabric sells a lot of good cloth. So, yeah. Okay, so let's make it for our doll now. She has a bit of fluff stuck to her. Okay, so I just cut out these two pieces of leather for her jacket. So that's what I'm starting with. And they are the exact same. I just folded a piece of piece of cloth over. And then I just traced her body on it. And so it's inside, it's the good side facing the good side. That's the same.
so that it will be good side facing good side. You know. Okay, but now I am going to just use a hot glue gun while it is good side facing good side. I've said that so many times. I'm just going to glue like together here, together here, together here, together here, here, and here. But you need to make sure you don't go here, 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 or here. And that's might be a little bit confusing to some of you. But just, yeah. And so I don't need to hem this fabric because it's a nice clean edge already because it's leather. But if you were using like cotton fabric or something, you should hem it first and just fold it over to do that and glue it or sew it. And another reason why I'm not sewing this is because it's leather and that would be kind of hard on my sewing machine. So we would probably break a few needles in the process. Okay, so I'm gonna hot glue. Okay, bad news. The hot glue on this leather actually just peels off. So you might have to hand sew it. So just, if you are hand sewing it, just get the good side facing the good side and sew in all the same spots. Or, I mean, you could just use your sewing machine. I'm first going to try my sewing machine because I suck at hand sewing, so I want this to be as good as it can be. But while our hot glue gun is still hot, I am going to do the other parts of the outfit that will need hot gluing. So I'll quickly show you how to do those. Okay, I have my cotton fabric, and I'm just going to get this edge, and I like how it has this like fraying area that had thread right there, so I'm going to keep it like that for the bottom. And I'm just going to make her a little shirt to go under her leather jacket. And this won't be seen much because we will be adding fur to her leather jacket, but I think we should still add it because, I mean, she needs to have something under that jacket. And because, you know, we want to make all the little touches that a real human would have, and a real human would wear something under their jackets, so, you know. Let me quickly find the doll. Here she is. Okay. So I'm just going to place her down. Can you see that? No, you can't. Okay, I'm just going to place her down. Sorry if you weren't able to see that. So I'm gonna make this just a regular top, so I won't be needing to hem the bottom. So I'm just gonna get it like this and use a pencil and wait, let's move out her arms and just sketch right there. And make sure this is not as thick as make sure this is not like close to their body like that, because then it won't be able to fold around them, and you need it to be able to fit. And this shirt is not going to have any sleeves. It's just going to be a sleeveless shirt. And I'm going to draw a little skull on it when I am done sewing it. Pretty much, I'm going to cut this out, then hem the top, and just glue the sides together. Try it on. If it's too big, then just slowly get it thinner and thinner and thinner until it fits perfectly. Yeah, and this outfit won't be able to come off, by the way. So if you want it to be able to come off, then put a Velcro or snaps in the back. Okay, I'm gonna go make it. Okay, so this is how her little shirt looks. I accidentally made it a crop top. Barely, but I accidentally did. So sorry about that. But since it's because I forgot I had to hem it and I cut it too small. But I don't think it's worth redoing just for that. Like 2 millimeters. So, now I just cut this square, or these 2 squares, out of red. And it's actually just a really long square, but it was on a fold. So I am just gonna hem there, and there, and then sew it together, or hot glue it together. And that's her skirt. Okay, now see, she has a skirt too. So it's just like glued in the back and hemmed and stuff. I think it looks really cute. So, now let's quickly cut out the fur for the, oh no, let's not do that yet. I just remembered that we haven't cut the thing yet. Don't cut out the fur yet. So, now, let's go sew. Again, just sew there, 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 and there. Yeah. I'll quickly go do that and get back to you when I'm done. Oh, okay, so I sewed it. And now I'm just going to trim these excess parts. And luckily the sewing machine did an okay job. I could kind of tell it was having a bit of trouble sewing through the thick leather. But it worked and I didn't break any needles, so that's good. So just finish trimming it up and then choose which side you like better. I'm probably gonna do like this side and just cut a, oh dear, scissors in there, and just cut a slit right in the middle. And this will help it be a lot easier to turn inside out, and since it's a jacket, it would already have that. And you can also just cut it like, oh sorry, that was not in the screen. You can cut it like that right at the top to make it a bit more like a collar, where a collar would go. Like that. Bits of leather in the bag. So that. I'm so sorry. Our tablet case fell. Okay. So now I'm just going to. Sorry that keeps happening, guys. Okay. Now I'm just going to turn it inside out and see how it fits. Let's try it on. So. First, we will need to take off our doll's hands. There we go. It has a little pink peg. It's a bit hard when there's paint. It makes your hands kind of painted. But, okay. Now let's just slide her arms in. I really hope this fits. It took about 20 minutes to on inside out this. So let's make sure it fits. You can only see her feet. Sorry about that. I'm going to finish putting it on. It looks like it fits. Yay! I need to get her hand back on now. Okay. Okay, I will get back to you when her hand is on. Okay, it's fluff time. So, what I was planning on doing was making fluffy cuffs for her hands on both sides. Then also just making fluff go up and around, then back down. And then also, I'm gonna first do that, but if that just doesn't look like enough fluff, I can also just do it on the bottom. And I'm also just going to use some white fabric paint, white paint, or maybe a paint marker, and I'm just going to draw a little skull on her shirt. Okay guys, not trying to brag, but this outfit is awesome. I mean, at first the skirt and that top weren't super good, but I mean, that jacket just pulled it all together. Ta-da! It looks like something a mayor would wear. Or like a girl mayor. Like a mayor's wife. Look at it. It's like posh. And I drew this little skull there. Just with some fabric paint. I meant paint marker. Why do I keep saying fabric paint?
And I just really like that jacket. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Yeah, it's just beautiful. But now I am going to work on her hair. So let's get our fluff back. It is pretty dry. Still slightly wet, but not too wet. Oh, there's still a undyed piece. How did that get there? Who knows? But now let's just separate it as much as we can. You can just kind of fluff it up. And you can like smush it. And just see. Look. Let's just try different methods. Oh, I hope I'm not gonna. Okay. Try different methods of just fluffing it. And you can also blow dry it if it's not quite dry. Mine's not quite dry, so probably gonna blow dry it. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. So that's kind of what it would look like if it was on her. You know, if it was done better than that. So yeah. I'm gonna go blow dry it, and then I will just put some Elmer's glue on her head, on her scalp, and just spread this across it. I just love her jacket, it's so cute. Sorry, but it's just beautiful. Comment down below if you like that jacket, or the whole outfit, in fact. So yeah, let's go do her hair. Okay, this is how her hair looks. I think that's really cute. And in the back, it's a little bit sparse, but if when the glue dries, if it does look too sparse, I can always just put a little bit of red paint there in those spots. But it's not worth re-dyeing a whole nother section just to get those parts, since there's only a few. And so I think that looks really cute. And now, for her ears, just put her somewhere safe to dry, where she won't be up against much. Sorry, okay, I need to quickly do that. So for her ears, quickly grab a little bag. Okay, for her ears, this is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just using these old Claudine ears. Got her name wrong. And I'm just going to paint them black. Oh wait, let me see what Litten's real color is. One sec. Again, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to paint them black with a little bit of gray in the inside. Sorry that I was running around so much. And then I'm also just going to